Hi everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lottie and this is my June TBR. Admittedly, I am filming this with a little bit of advance, however, I cannot believe June is here. It is halfway through the year. What is going on? Sorry if I've just sent anyone into existential crisis, but it is facts. We are halfway through the year. So this is my June TBR. These are the books that I want to read in the month of June. There is a lot of carryover this month from May. At the time of filming this, I'm still making my way through Kingdom of Ash, which I do intend to finish in May. I have this much left. I intend to finish it in May. If this carries over into June, I will not be happy. I promise you guys, I will not be happy because I have a lot of books that I now need to read in June as a result of how long this book is taking me to read. So let's get on with what those books are. So if you've seen my in June at TBR Scrolls TBR, you will know kind of generally what was on that, and honestly there's nothing new, guys. This is a lot of the same books. So first off, I have the Red Scrolls of Magic and also The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra, Clare and Wesley Chu, which I needed to read. This is May's book for By the Angel Along, and this is June's book for By the Angel Along. I am still hoping that I can get to this right at the end of May and just squeeze it in there, but honestly it just depends on how long it takes me to finish Kingdom of Ash. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it now. I had done a little bit of maths and worked out if I read this many pages a day, I still had space to try and squeeze this in, but I have not been reading those pages per day, so I don't know if I'm going to finish this in May, but if it doesn't get read in May, it's going to be read in June because I need to read it for the live show because I like to join in with those. And then this is obviously the second book in that series. These are both part of the Eldest Curses series, which is one of the many series in the world of the Shadowhunters. And this series I don't really know too much about. All that I know is that it follows Magnus and Alec, who are two of my favourite characters across the whole series, so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing their story in this world. In June, I also need to read The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie, which is the final book in the First Law trilogy, which we are reading for First Law Along for Catch a Book Club. So this is the May and June book, so obviously it's going to be read in June at this point, and I have been enjoying this series so far. The first book is a little strange because it doesn't really outline a plot on the blurb, and at this point in the series I still can't really summarise what the series is about. The main thing you really need to know is it is a grimdark fantasy series and we're following lots of groups of characters. The main three in the first book are a barbarian, a fencing protege and an inquisitor for the king, and it's interesting to see how all these different characters kind of link together in the end. There isn't really much of a plot in this series. It's very, very character driven, and at this point I am still trying to work out what the plot is supposed to be. But I do enjoy it, not as much as I would have liked to, but I'm interested to see how this initial trilogy is going to end and how it's going to open up the world for the future books in the world of the First Law. On my TBR Scrolls TBR, we had Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, which is a standalone horror about scary mermaids. I really want to read this because I love Shauna Maguire's other work in the Wayward Children series, and obviously Mira Grant is Shauna Maguire, in case you didn't know. So I'm looking forward to kind of reading a little bit of more of a spooky book from her and seeing what this is all about, because this has been one that's been on my radar for such a long time, and I also really do need to read it because it's on my TBR Scrolls TBR. I also had Solitare by Alice Oseman on that TBR, and this was Alice Oseman's debut novel, and it's about Tori Spring, who is the older sister of Charlie from the Heartstopper graphic novel series. I love the Heartstopper graphic novel, so I'm looking forward to seeing Tori's story and what kicks off Alice Oseman's kind of desire to delve further into these characters. It is a young adult contemporary, so I'm a little bit worried that I won't enjoy it in that sense, especially because it's a debut novel, but it should be a relatively quick read because it's young adult. But I'm looking forward to getting to this. I know it's going to deal with some heavy topics, but yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing Tori's story. In June, I will also be reading Dumplin by Julie Murphy, and this is the first in a series of standalones, I think. This is I still don't know actually if it's young adult or if it's adult, but we're following Willowdean Dixon, who is dubbed Dumplin by her former beauty queen mom. And she is a little bit chubby, but she's like comfortable with herself, but she's kind of always lived in the shadow, I guess, of her mom's spotlight when she was a beauty queen. I have seen the Netflix movie of this book and I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to seeing the original source material. I do know that there should be drag queens in it, and I think Dolly Parton also plays a large part in this book, so I'm kind of just looking forward to just seeing like what it's all about. And then the final book I'm hoping to read in June is Gleam by Raven Kennedy, which is the third book in the Plated Prisoner series, and this is the one that I'm the most excited to read, but I've saved it for June because I knew that Kingdom of Ash was going to take me forever to read. But like, I just really want to read this. I feel like I've heard a lot about this book, and this is where the series gets good. So the series is a King Midas retelling, and we're following Oren, who is a gold-touched plated prisoner of King Midas, and he is the king's favoured. She's kept in a cage, nobody is allowed to touch her, talk to her, etc. And it is a fantasy romance series, so the story at the very start, Midas ends up going to another kingdom and brings Oren with him, and then something goes wrong, which is where we end up at this point in the series, and this I think is where the series is really going to start to get good. So I just really want to get to this book, but I've had to be very patient because I know that Kingdom of Ash has been the priority. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. So these are all of the books that I'm hoping to read in June. I know that there is a lot of carryover from my May TBR video, but it's literally just because Kingdom of Ash is taking me forever, and I don't want to put any more books on this TBR because a lot of these I kind of have to read for my TBR game, but also I do really want to read them as well is the thing. And I would have liked to put more LGBT books on this TBR because June is obviously Pride Month, but I do read a lot of LGBT books across the year anyway, and again, I didn't want to put too much on this TBR to put myself under too much pressure. But I think once I finish Kingdom of Ash, like, a lot of these books aren't too long. Like, this will definitely be a quick read despite its length. These I feel like are going to be a quick read because they are relatively short. These two are contemporary, so they shouldn't take me too long. The only one that I'm really worried about is The Last Argument of Kings, just because it is the longest of that series, and because of the density of the book as well, it does take me a little bit longer to get through. But I'm really excited about this TBR. It's still a lot of pinks and reds, again, with just Gleam as the odd one out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading all of these books in June. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was really short and sweet, but like, I've talked about all of these books before, so I feel like there is nothing really more for me to add. I still don't really know too much about them, but I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what you are reading in June. I'd love to know. Let me know if you've read any of these books as well, which one you're the most excited to hear my thoughts on. And please also do wish me luck with finishing Kingdom of Ash, because I really need to finish this, guys. I just really need to finish this. The vlog is coming along nicely. Yeah, I won't give you any spoilers, I think, on the vlog because I know that this video will be out before the vlog, but I'm just glad that I'm finally finishing this series. That's all I can say. If you haven't already and you'd like to be, please do consider subscribing. I post a new video every single week. And that's it from me today, guys. Bye!